let's take a look at some awesome summer crochet patterns. Hello, my name is Emily Crow from Crochet Creations. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to go through a whole bunch of really awesome summer crochet patterns that I think would be great for 2022. And this is just a roundup of things that I've searched for and found online that I am really drawn to. If this isn't your style, that's totally fine, but this is mine and these are things that I really admire and that I may possibly make one day, and so I wanted to share with you the patterns I think you should know about as well for this summer. Since we are just moving into July pretty quick here, there's still a couple months left of summer, and here in California I'll have even a few more months to enjoy some warm weather clothes. Also, if you have any really awesome summer patterns that you know about, let me know down below because I love finding out about summer patterns. I really am drawn to those, especially with crochet, so I would love to learn about more. This is nap time and my time is running low, so I am gonna try to be fast, but I have like 25 patterns. I had such a hard time narrowing it down even more, but these are all the things that caught my eye, and I'll share with you kind of what they are, a little bit about them. I'll try to pop pictures up and I'll have everything linked down below. We're gonna start with the Captiva Crop. This is by Laura Murphy, Murphy Handmade. This blew up last summer. Everyone in the crochet community was making this. I did not hop on the bandwagon because I didn't have the yarn handy, but I do have some yarn in my stash, so I know that I want to make this. It is part of my stash make 9 list. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up above. I'm super excited about this. It's really great, lightweight, fingering weight pattern for just this top. It's nice and breezy because of it looks like filet crochet in it. It looks really beautiful in like a variegated or speckled hand-dyed yarn as well as in something more solid. So really great versatile option. Lots of people make multiples. It's awesome. It's beautiful. I want to make it. This is reminding me that it's on my list, so I need to make it. The next top that I have has kind of a similar look, but definitely a very different vibe. So this is the Loretta top by 11 Handmade, Linda Scuja. And this is also a fingering weight top, but it has like a really cool, it looks like almost like a drop stitch type of detail. And it's really neat, just like it gives a lot more space and it's a lot more see-through on the top part of the yoke. It's really visually interesting in that sense. And her sample is also made, it looks like there's a variegated colorway on top, and so it would also be a great project for hand-dyed yarn. And this is also size inclusive. I did not mention that in the last pattern, but the last pattern was also size inclusive up through 5X, I think, 62-inch bust. We love size inclusivity. Next project I want to share with you, this is the Pride Yoke, the crochet version by Knits and Knots Winnipeg, Janine Miska. So what's really cool is that she has this pattern in knit and crochet, so depending on which craft you're more comfortable with, or if you want to, you could make one of each, which is so fun. I really want to get this video out before the end of June, but we'll see, I guess. It's June 29th. That's not going to happen. But if you still want to celebrate Pride, you can definitely get this pattern. And she says you can use a coupon code that she lists in the description in order to get the pattern for free. But if you purchase the pattern, then 100% of proceeds will go to Rainbow Resource Center, which is an organization in Winnipeg to help those in the LGBTQ plus community, which I think is a really, really cool. If you want to support that organization, this is a great way to do it. Also, size inclusive, up to 62 inches bust. And this is DK weight, so it works up a little bit faster, which is nice. We're gonna pivot a little bit. I wanted to share an accessory. This is a bag that I think is really beautiful. It's actually a few years old, 2018. It's called the Smooth Waves Beach Tote by Debbie Field. So it's a few years old. It's an Aran weight. What? So it's like on the heavy side of worsted if you are in the US like me and we don't have a lot of Aran weight yarns. So it should work up really, really quickly, but it's a great way to use lots of smaller skeins or just stash bust. I really like the wave texture detail, and when you switch colors in between the different waves, then it really makes those stitches pop and that texture. There's a lot of movement in the design, which I think is really nice. Perfect for the beach. Granted, I really love Knits and Knots' patterns, so there are a few on this list. This is another one, the Linden cardigan, and it's a really lightweight summer cardigan. It's made of fingering weight yarn, and it's got like this chain mesh short sleeve, small cropped cardigan. So perfect for layering, just adding interest to an outfit without being too hot. And I think that's really key in the summer. You don't want to be sweating, but having extra layers just makes things more interesting, and it really stretches your wardrobe so that those couple accessory pieces really make it so you have a lot more outfits possible. It looks super beginner friendly too. It looks like it's made in panels, whereas the other tops and things I've shared so far look like they were all circular yoke patterns, which is still definitely accessible to you as a beginner crocheter, but maybe a little bit more intimidating. And then, oh, I wanted to share, I found this cute butterfly amigurumi pattern, and it looks so cute. May 2019, so also a couple years old. These are not necessarily all super new trendy patterns, but I tried to look for the things that really spoke to me the most. This is by Loops and Love Crochet. It is so freaking cute. Oh my goodness. Great way to use that like variegated yarn for the wings, so it's just got more interest in it. I think that it's hard to use variegated yarn for a lot of amigurumi patterns, but this one is perfect for. So cute. My daughter, she's 20 months right now. She loves butterflies, and we don't see them often enough. It would be really fun to make her a butterfly. Let's move into like tanks. I think that there are a lot of really basic tanks, not much that really caught my eye, but I did see a few that I thought were stunning that I would consider making. So this one is the Amari halter top by Leah Lubotsky. Oh, this is so pretty. I love the shaping of it is just really interesting. There's this beautiful lacy detail right at the top of the halter, but then where the cups are, there's just a lot of interesting shaping that make kind of like a V shape, and I think that that is a really flattering shape. It's just really interesting compared to some other patterns I've seen because it's not just like a straight across. So I like that little detail. I think that's totally worth it. Super cute. Not as size inclusive though that I'm seeing, only small and medium. So that's a little bit disappointing. So I'd have to do a little bit more digging and see exactly what a size medium actually means. Not as inclusive, unfortunately.
Okay, so I wanted to clarify, I looked further into the pattern, and it does say farther down the pattern page that this pattern is also made to measure with instructions for sizes small and medium. So that makes me think that you could potentially use your own measurements to size this pattern to your own body. I did reach out to the designer and she's not gotten back to me yet if that is the case, but it does sound like this actually is a more size inclusive pattern than I originally thought.
Another tank, we are back on Knits and Knots. This is Chasing Summer Light, a fingering weight top, and this blew up last year. It is so cute, super simple, really interesting, intuitive construction, moving vertically instead of horizontally to create the texture. And there's also a worsted weight version of the pattern, Chasing Summer tank, which is super cute. It's also size inclusive up to 62 inches. Definitely a staple for a lot of people's wardrobes. A tank that she came out with this year is called the Timberwood tank. And what was really interesting, this looks fairly visually similar to the last tank I shared, but what's different about this one, for me, it is a DK weight, so it works up a little faster. But there's some really interesting short row shaping around the cups that create the straps that's just so fascinating. The construction of this is just so interesting to me. I'm really waiting on the edge of my seats to see if she will list a testing call for like a dress pattern in this or like a tee pattern with the similar short row shaping, because I think that's so interesting and such a different thing that I haven't seen in the crochet world to do shaping like that. Also vertical, like the Chasing Summer Light tank. My favorite pattern from this whole lineup, this is the Honeycomb Crochet Tank Top by Brianna K Designs. It was published 2 years ago and it uses a fingering weight yarn. It is perfect. I love it so much. It's got spaghetti straps. It's like a loose tank top, but it's got buttons down the front, and there's a really cool eyelet or fillet detail that creates hexagon shapes. So that's like the nod to honeycomb, which is so cute. It just looks so comfy. It just takes it up a level from a regular tank top. So I really love that. I don't really wear tank tops because I don't like to layer things and I like having my shoulders covered, but I would make this and just wear it with like a cardigan. 100%. It is so cute. It goes up to 3X. So again, not as size inclusive, unfortunately. I think it's important for those of us who care about size inclusivity to reach out and talk to designers and help them to see that we want more size inclusive patterns out there, and to hopefully help them to make that step to do that, because it is a lot of work. It is a lot of math, and it's not just, you know, scaling things up, because people of a larger plus size are not proportioned the same way as other sizes. It's a lot of work, I understand, as a designer, but it is important. So I think that's something that we can encourage designers to do. Here's another cute little pattern I wanted to share. You can't talk about crochet patterns without granny squares, and this is the Summertime Granny Squares Cal Crochet Along by Raffaella Tassoni, and she's got lots of really cool patterns, but this is a group of 24 squares that all have different motifs that are related to the summer. So there's like a sun and sea turtle and a crab and a flamingo and a pineapple, all sorts of really interesting things. So that would be super fun to make like a blanket out of, or even if there are specific squares that you want to use in another project, you could do that. Super cool, very detailed, but also fairly simple. Oh, I almost made it through half of my list before I have to go get my toddler from nap time, but we will see you later. Alright, so we are back. It has been actually a few hours now, but the toddler's down in her bed, hopefully. I'm going to turn off the monitor. Hold on. We are back for real this time. Let's continue on. So the next pattern that I want to talk about, I actually pattern tested, but it seems to be taking the crochet world by storm right now. It just came out. It's called JJ's Sunny Brim Hat by Dina Zotto, or DMK Crochet, and this hat is really, really simple and made in like 5 sizes, I think. Super great for stash busting cotton yarn, and a really cool tip of using galvanized wire or something similar along the brim to make it look just more professional and less floppy, but more straight brimmed out. Super cool. The fabric it makes is really stretchy, which makes it easy to like fit numerous sizes of heads really well, and it's designed to be something you could make for a market because it's really quick to work up. So that is something really cool to be thinking about. Even if you're not in the market scene, this would still be a really fun quick make. I'm just gonna go over a couple more hats that I've seen. So this one is the Cleo Wide Brim Fedora. Like, that's cool, and this pattern is free. It's by Make and Do Crew. It uses bulky weight yarn, so you know it's gonna work up super fast. It was published a couple years ago in 2020. It has 2 sizes, small and large, so both adult sizes, but this is such a cool, it just has such cool shaping on the top, so it really takes it up a level. This also has the wire to stabilize the brim, and this is also packable. It's just really cool. It's similar to the hat I just showed, but different shaping, and so it just looks more professional, like a hat that you would buy in suede or something. And then this is the Easy Crochet Bucket Hat. Bucket hats are super popular right now. I am still on the fence about them. I have not made one, but this one is really simple. It is available for free, so I thought that this would be great to throw in here. It's by Sarah Maker. It says it comes in 1 size, made with 1 ball of cotton yarn, so that's really good for a little stash busting. So I might end up making this pattern because I've got a lot of just random single skeins of like a random color of cotton yarn, and I'm kind of sick of making dishcloths right now. Best of all, it's free, so it's fun to try, and if it's not for you, no harm, no foul, you can move on. This is one of my favorite tops from this whole selection. Definitely want to make one of these. This is called Sunshine Top by Nadegda Osipova Designs. This was designed in 2021. It's in fingering weight yarn, so also really lightweight. What really caught my eye, it is so cool, this lacing detail. It looks so intricate. It's beautiful. There's just like so much really cool texture here. Your eyes can't stop looking. It looks like the pattern also has an extension, so you can make it not just a crop top, but also extend it to a dress or like a cover up. I really like how it's got the buttons down the front. in the shirt that it showed. I think that is just a super cute detail, and I really like it more with the buttons than without. I'm wearing a button shirt now. I don't know why, I just like buttons. I think it's super cute. It's got a recipe algorithm so you can figure out what you want to make exactly to your size, which is really neat. It does have kind of a looser fit, and so that also makes it easier to fit different sizes. It says, see notes for sizing. Well, that's not helpful. Okay, so it looks like there are a range of sizes included in the pattern, but beyond that, there is an algorithm section where you can figure out based on your gauge and what your size is, how to make it. And I don't own this pattern, so I can't tell for certain how high that would go up, but for sure it'll go up to 110 centimeters, which is not as big as we would want to be fully inclusive, but this algorithm or recipe might help. So when I buy this pattern, I'll have to fill you guys in and let you know if that algorithm will truly help you to size this up or down, and how far you could size this up or down to fit you and your needs. Another top we're gonna throw in here. This one has been super popular lately. It's the Everyday Sage Tee by Teezines. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They've got a lot of really cool boho inspired designs, and this one is my favorite that I've seen. It's with DK Weight yarn, and it's got this really cool, it's a pretty basic top. It's shaped kind of like a vest, but there's enough positive ease in the garment that the sleeves kind of hang over to make it like a short sleeve or a cap sleeve type of a look. And there's this really cool motif. It says a sage leaf motif that's been included on other designs of theirs right down the center, and I can't tell if it's on the back as well. It's a nod to their other designs, but also not like super crazy bohemian style. So if that's not quite your style, this could fit in with your wardrobe a lot easier and be just a little bit eclectic, but still something fairly wearable if you have a less eclectic style overall. Oh, and that one is fully inclusive, extra small to 5X. Well, it is inclusive to the standard sizes that we have, extra small to 5X. Of course, there are people that fall outside of that range. Hopefully we can expand the craft standards to include other sizes as well, but I think that that's great. Extra small to 5X. I feel like I can't include a crochet roundup with garments without including something from Holly Woodward Designs, because I've admired her so much since she blew up on the scene. I think right when hit, she lost her job, and so she started designing, or really worked on her designing business to provide for herself, and it's been incredible to see her journey. And just she has such a signature style that you can see in every single one of her designs. This one that I really wanted to point out is the one that I'm most interested in actually making for myself. It's the Rita Tee, and it's got this really cute flutter sleeve detail and this fillet detail along the stomach of the crop top, and so it would be nice and airy and cool, a little bit nicer with the ruffle sleeves, so that you could totally dress it up or down, which I think is really neat. It is size inclusive, extra small to 5X that we love, and DK Weight yarn, so doesn't take too long to make. Super cute. And she's got other designs. I think she's got maybe even like a Rita cardigan or something. She's got all sorts of patterns, and so if you like one of hers, I'm sure that you'll find a couple other patterns that pull from similar elements that you would also like. She's got a very well-defined style of her designs. Okay, last top for a while, I want to talk about the Orlea lace top by My Dancing Hook. She has recently come on the designing scene, maybe about a year, and it's been cool to see the things that she'll make. And she's got all sorts of other designs. This is the one that really caught my eye, and I guess I'm just in the mood for filet crochet and some good ruffles is kind of where my brain is right now. But you can see that this top is different from the last one because the sleeves are shorter. It doesn't have as much of a drop shoulder look. It's almost like a tank top with the ruffles added on, so it's definitely a different silhouette, and it's also a much more fitted garment. Again, different silhouette. It's got some, looks like filet crochet a little bit on the stomach of the top, and then on the top part there's some really cool like lacing detail, and on the back as well. Looks like maybe double crochet V-stitches or something. It's really neat. It's got lots of texture, lots of interest to look at. It's super feminine and cute, and This would look great with like a nice flowy skirt or something for some balance with the slimmer silhouette on top. Super cute. Also size inclusive up to 5X. Couple accessories I want to share. I'm trying to get through this really fast because there's so many things to talk about. The Traveler's Water Bottle Bag. This is by Shannon Holding, the Loophole Fox. Another big name that I've recently found. They've got lots of really cool patterns. What's neat about this is that you can fit the water bottle bag for any kind of water bottle. So obviously if you're gonna get like a little plastic water bottle that you see, it looks like it's got like a Hydro Flask-y thing. There's a standard and a large size, as well as create your own. So it looks like it's also got a recipe so that you can figure out how you can fit the water bottle bag to your water bottle, which is cool. This would make a great like little gift to make someone, or even like a market make. Super cute. Looks like it would be really quick to make out of worsted weight cotton yarn. This last accessory, beautiful. We have to talk about granny squares because this is crochet, and I am not one who's obsessed with granny squares. I know some people really, really love them, but there are certain granny squares that I just adore and that I have to have. This is the Bauble Flower Tote Bag by Irangi Udashika. Excuse me, I'm trying my best with all these names. Crochet for You, it looks like, is their page. And they use Aran weight yarn, so again, not as common. Okay, I don't know when that started. The Bauble Flower Tote Bag by Irangi Udashika. I'm trying my best with these names, so please forgive me if I struggle a little bit. Also known as Crochet for You, it looks like. And they recently published this bag just last month in May. It uses Aran weight yarn, so that's heavier worsted for those of us in the US or other places that don't have Aran weight yarn super available. And so it would work up really quick. It's got these really cute squares, really cool texture of how these squares are joined together, which is really cool. Got some beautiful braided, almost macrame straps, which I like. Just the texture of these granny squares has these cool bauble flowers. So I really like it. It says that they made 24 squares and were able to construct this bag. These style of granny square bags are not a super new thing, but I really like this iteration of it, and I like the shaping is just a little bit more wide and stout, so more similar to a purse that we would see out and about rather than like a tote bag or anything. Just the details I think are really cool on this one, and it's for free. What? Okay, add to library. I'm gonna talk about a couple dresses here because I tried to find some skirts and I tried to find some shorts, and it's just harder to find ones that really clicked with me and that I wanted to talk about here. So if you have any short patterns or skirt patterns or even more dress patterns, I love that kind of thing, but it's just hard to find. They're not as common compared to crochet tops as far as garments go for summertime. This is the lovely little lace dress, and again, I cannot mention crochet garments without mentioning Stephanie Aaron because she's got so many for every season. And this dress, she just came out with it this month. It is stunning. It has a really beautiful fit, and it has a little bit of ease. It's not like a bodycon dress, but it's fitted to your body and to your body measurements, because that's what she does. She does a really good job at writing patterns to fit your body that you try on as you go and make adjustments based on your measurements, all that good stuff. And even if you were making this for someone else, that you could take all their measurements and still make the adjustments as appropriate. Super cute. So it's got this nice fitted look without being super tight. I can tell that there's still a little bit of ease. And then these sleeves are stunning. Oh my goodness. Like that lace detail is just so neat and beautiful. Like this is just so pretty and feminine. I love it so much. Oh my goodness. The next dress that I found is a really neat design and a really neat business model that I hadn't really heard of before. So this is the Better World dress by Kasia Osmulska. She came out with this pattern about a year ago in 2021. It's made with fingering weight yarn. I didn't say the last one. Also fingering weight yarn. Fingering weight dresses I'm sure would take a little while, but it'd be totally worth it. So both these dresses are fingering weight yarn. This Better World dress, we're coming back to that, fits all. So that's interesting. I'm not sure if that means that there's different sizes if you fit it to yourself, or if it's just because of the way it's like all different lace and texture stitches. So I don't know if that is just intended to stretch out and be able to fit a numerous size body. Let's do some investigating. Upon further research, because it is a free pattern, which is nice, it is not a one size fits all. It says it is, but it only has one set of numbers and one set of stitch patterns and whatnot. So that means it is a one size dress, which does not fit all. There are so many body types and shapes and sizes that this would not work for. So I do apologize. That is not a fit all garment. So I'm disappointed at that. It is a free pattern, and the designer asks that when you post about this pattern to like share your FO or your finished object, that you would donate money to a good cause. Is kind of their intention, which I think is a very noble cause. But yes, not one size fits all, and it's really hard to say how far it would fit because it doesn't talk about ease. It doesn't talk about like how big the garment itself is. Me being in the standard size range, it would fit me probably, and it would have plenty of room. I think just looking at it, it's very loose, but I don't know how far up that would go, unfortunately. And I wish I could say, ooh, there are some projects. Shall we look at some projects to see if any larger sizes have made it? So looking at the pictures, there have not been many, if any, plus size people who have modeled it. You can't assume someone's size based on looking at them. So I'm not going to go there, but I don't think that this will fit very many sizes, to be honest. It's very loose and flowy, and it looks like the fabric will stretch a little bit because of the open stitches and the lacing, but I would be surprised if this gives a good fit for any plus sizes, to be honest. But I can't test that unless I make it.
Hello from Editing Emily, and I have another little addition to say here. So I was doing a little bit more poking around, and I saw a comment on this pattern. Someone asked, do you have any idea what size range this would fit, please? Because there's really no such thing as one size fits all. Exactly right. The response from the designer actually said the widest version has approximately 160 centimeters in the bust and only gets wider from there. Only problem could be the length, so you could add some repeats to add length. So 160 centimeters actually does convert into about 62, 63 inches, which would fill the size range up through 5X for a bust of 5X. At first glance, when I was looking through the pattern, since it is free, I have looked, it didn't look necessarily like that, but the designer says that it's very easy to make it larger, and that the bust in general, if you match gauge, should include a 5X bust. So that's just an update there.
Oh my gosh, this top, I'm just so impressed. Anastasia Smith from Journey Chanel Designs. So she has come out with lots of cool patterns recently. This one, Davina's lace top, super cool. She came out with it in May, and she uses Lion Brand Kobo, which is a DK weight. Still really light and airy, but doesn't take super long to work up. So her sample, you can see that there's these beautiful lace sleeves that match the lace on the, I need to learn better sewing terms, right under the bust, and for like the rest of that like peplum bottom of the shirt. It's got this really cool lace detail, super cute and flowy and feminine, and that's the kind of fit that I am really into right now. She also has some pictures before adding the sleeves to make it more of a tank version, but still with that flowy, peplumy type of bottom. And it's got the wrap front detail on the bust, which is really cute, and I always love a wrap front. It's really cute. It looks like some people did the tank version, some people added short sleeves, mid sleeves, long sleeves, so really customizable for whatever weather you are experiencing. We are almost done with this. Okay, this is the last accessory. It's called Hanging Garden by Brenda K. B. Anderson of Creative Crochet Corner. So this pattern, also a super new release from May this year, using worsted weight, looks like just cotton yarn. This is a super cute plant hanger, but not any that I've seen before. So it's not like an above plant hanger with like multiple strands and then like a little basket. It's got like a basket that attaches on the side, so it's really cool to put like against a wall, and it's got this really fun tassels on the bottom and a really neat lace texture all throughout, not just around the pot but all up the hanging strap too. So super cool. And there's multiple sizes, 4 different sizes, which is neat, so that should be able to fit quite a few different patterns, it looks like. Last but not least, I wanted to just throw in one of my patterns I think is perfect for summer. So this is the Sweet Pea Vest. I published this 2 years ago. Wow, 2 years ago. This uses Michael's in-house brand Loops and Threads. They're cream cotton, and I made this vest. I had a vision and it came together super fast. It was meant to be. The yarn was made for this pattern. It's got this cute textured cluster stitch detail panels with a cool peacoat mesh panel in between. It alternates panel styles, so you get like the variety of texture. As soon as you're starting to get sick of one stitch, it switches stitches, some really easy repeats, really simple construction, and it's a really great layering piece for the summertime, and so I definitely recommend it. And if you want, I'll even give you a discount on it. I'll put it on sale, so make sure to check it out there on my Ravelry or Etsy, or I think I even have it on Lovecrafts. I need to double check and make sure. It is size inclusive up through 5X because it is a vest that's not meant to close. It's got a couple size ranges, but it's made to fit up through 5X. Woo! All right, so thank you so much for joining me as I talk through all these different summer patterns that really caught my eye and that I thought would be great to make this time of year. I know that we are now moving into July, but you still have a few months before the summer hits out. And I know it'd be great to like finish all your summer projects by like May so that you are ready to go for the summer, but that's not the case always. And so these are some really cool project ideas that I hope are inspiring to you and are things that you may be interested in making for this summer. So let me know down below if any of these patterns caught your eye. I hope that there were some things that you haven't seen before, or maybe things that you didn't know a lot about that you learned more about and that caught your interest. So let me know about those. And again, if you have any essential summer patterns for crochet that you want to share, leave them down below, because I always love hearing about new designers and new patterns and adding more favorites to my list of things that I want to make eventually. If you are new here and you feel like sticking around, I would love to have you here. Just press that subscribe button and hit the bell notification to be notified every time I post a new video. I love to post all sorts of crochet, knitting, yarn content here on this channel, from a podcast to vlogging to product reviews and all sorts of things. So if that is interesting to you, we would love to have you stick around. Until next time, happy making. Bye.